Good afternoon. Thank you for creating time for us. This is KBC. A very warm welcome to the Lunchtime News. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. On sign language interpretation, we have Anne Wangeshi. Do interact with us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. On this day that political leaders continue to traverse the country, the Azimio Brigade is this afternoon in the county of Siaya. We have our very own Wycliffe Okech with the delegation on the ground. We will also be going live to the county of Mombasa. Michael Mwandiga has the latest update in regards to health concerns. But for now, we kick off from the county of Kisii, and the area county assembly speaker, David Kombo, has been locked out of the office yet again amid two existing court orders against his protracted alleged impeachment. This even as his Migori counterpart, Boaz Okoth, was last evening impeached unanimously by MCAs over graft and gross misconduct allegations.
The barricading of the Kisii Speaker's office came after he had reported for duty yesterday and held wide consultations with the Deputy Speaker and Leader of Majority among other House officials before proceeding for lunch. An irate Kombo said upon arrival at his office, he found it locked. He alerted his lawyer to pursue the latest developments at the county assembly, pitting him against his accusers.
They have gone against the court order because they had wanted to remove me, but it was not successful according to them, and according to me it was good for me. The court ordered that I should not be touched until the case is concluded.
This even as Migori Speaker Boaz Okoth was last evening impeached unanimously by MCAs over graft and gross misconduct.
And sleep silently, probably at night.
A total of 46 MCAs turned up during the session. 11 chose to skip the session altogether, while 2 abstained and 2 voted no for the matter.
We are not getting our allowances, we are not getting our pay in time, we are not doing our oversight role. That makes even the executive take advantage of us.
As honorable members, we are not going to entertain any longer impunity in this assembly.
He has been an impediment to all the honorable members from the 40 wards in Migori County government to exercise their 3 roles.
Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Police in Maralal town are investigating an incident where a 27-year-old man was shot and injured by suspected cattle rustlers at Milimani area in Samburu Central Sub-County. According to police, no livestock was stolen and the suspects are still at large.
Samburu Central OCPD Alex Rotich said the initial investigations indicate the attack was perpetrated by 7 men, 2 of whom were armed with rifles suspected to be AK-47 rifles.
Huyo kijana alipigwa risasi ya kifua na hakukufa. Risasi alipita kifua, lipikwa hapa mbele akapitia nyuma. Watu wako hospitali na ako kwa stable condition.
Rotich said police are searching for the culprits. He at the same time urged residents to cooperate with police in enhancing security in the area.
Himisa wananchi hawe akikuwa wakisuspect au wakisikia watu wanatembea wachulishe polisi, kwa sababu sisi tumepeana namba zetu. Wakati wote jambo lolote ikisikika, wanipigie simu au wapigie tu kituo cha polisi, tutachipo haraka sana kuhakikisha kwamba hizo mifuko asiende.
The victim has a bullet wound on his chest and is admitted at Samburu County Referral Hospital in Maralal town, where he is said to be in stable condition.
And now we cross over to the county of Siaya in Uguja, where the Azimio la Umoja Brigade is this afternoon pitching camp in the area. This 6 months to the next general election. and leaders are traversing the country, wooing voters to the next general election. And my colleague Wycliffe Okech is with the brigade, and let's listen in as a number of leaders are in the area, and he is informing us that we are expecting governors allied to Azimio la Umoja as well as senators to attend this meeting in the afternoon.
Kaugono wakelo welo madongo welo mowo piny Kenya duto nyaka jomowo kigot kumanyocha amolo nyalego dhiye moilo mochopo nyaka itungo kucha. Omiyo message mawango kawuono ni jowa osekawo ombulu gimondo wer wuok oko dhi go ombulu. Doge kamano nikech amolo nyakawo ka wuok oko modhi konye go ombulu ma ji teo go ombulu mokwan. Doge kamano. Ya mwisho nataka kuambia William Ruto alituambia kwamba yeye na President Uhuru Kenyatta walikubaliana kwamba yeye Uhuru atafanya mwaka 10 na yeye atafanya mwaka 10. Alikuwa anamaanisha kwamba Uhuru akimaliza uongozi anaunga yeye mkono. Kwa nini sasa hiyo Uhuru anasema anaunga Raila mkono na mimi Uhuru asiunge Raila mkono? Alikuwa nafikiri Uhuru ni waiter, atakaa tu hapo alafu yeye aingie. President Uhuru Kenyatta sio waiter. President Uhuru Kenyatta ni mwanasiasa, na akiamua kwamba anaunga Raila mkono, mimi nataka kuambia Ruto kwamba asilaumu President Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta kuna haki yake kama mwana Kenya, kama mwanasiasa kutaja na kukampenia mwenye nataka kuwa rais. Na Uhuru akisema kwamba ni baba itakuwa baba. Wakati anasema ni baba. Asanteni. Haya. Mheshimiwa Dr. Gideon Ochanda kutoka Bondo. Umoja kaka pele Uhuru kamano kendo kombedo jogo majokenda maru akowelo turwaka.
The Azimio la Umoja Brigade right in Uguja, Siaya County. Wycliffe Okech will be able to give us the latest developments as and when they unfold. But for now, we go to health concerns. Anti-female genital mutilation campaigners in West Pokot County have called on the government to intensify the fight against the vice. The activists say FGM and early marriages are on the rise among communities living along the Kenya-Uganda border. Reports say that girls are trafficked across the border for the infamous rites of passage.
Anti-FGM crusaders want rescue centers constructed along the Kenya-Uganda border to discourage the export of girls to Uganda.
This year and the coming years will continue putting a lot of effort in helping the community and these girls to continue their schooling and not to get circumcised.
Programs Officer Chabet Bungei says they have carried out several sensitization sessions along the border with a view of changing perception about retrogressive practices.
We also urge the county government and national government to help us actually put up most of safe places for these girls, because when they are in these safe places, they are able to go through schooling and they are not in danger in getting circumcised.
However, the Assistant County Commissioner Kacheliba Fred Ndubi said the government has put in place measures to help chiefs bring perpetrators to book.
We call upon our residents to make sure that we put our heads together and we finish this vice from our community.
Tugen Council of Elders and members of County Assembly from Baringo Central have endorsed Richard Koech to vie for the Baringo Gubernatorial seat in this year's general election. Koech, who is the County Assembly clerk, is among 6 aspirants who have shown interest in the seat, including incumbent Stanley Kiptis.
Council of Elders fronted Baringo County Assembly Clerk Richard Koech after conducting interviews for 3 aspirants from Baringo Central for the past 6 months, where they concluded that the other 2 aspirants support Koech to face other aspirants from other sub-counties.
Tunasi na tunaombea kwa sababu hako na uwezo. Kwa hivyo atakuja hapo field kukutana na wengine. Lakini tunaamini huyu hako na uwezo. Tumeaona kwa sababu hako na experience. Na county itapata mafanikio kubwa sana kwa sababu tumeona ile experience hako na masomo hako na uwezo hiyo.
Tugen Council of Elders Samuel Chepto said Koech has vast experience and a stellar track record, having previously served as Finance Chief Officer for Baringo and West Pokot counties.
Tunatakia Mheshimiwa CP Richard Koech ufanisi. Tunatakia safari njema anapoanza hii safari, na tunaomba Mungu akupatie ushindi.
Hata sisi ambao tulikuwa candidates tuliweza kuzungumziana na mwishowe siku hii hawa wazee wamefanya uamuzi, na hiyo ndio uamuzi mimi nimesema ninakubali kwamba nitaenda mbele na kuomba uongozi ya kaunti hii.
These as Orange Democratic Movement delegates in Teso South constituency, Busia County, faulted Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya for allegedly colluding with area Member of Parliament Geoffrey Omuse to undermine Busia Governor Sospita Ojamong. Led by Busia ODM Branch Secretary General Innocent Oluku, they urged Oparanya to stop interfering with Busia politics.
He is supposed to spearhead in consultation with the governors of all the counties in Western. Hata wakati walikuwa mkutano State House, waliambiwa kila governor take charge of his own county. But Mheshimiwa Oparanya, unfortunately, he has sidestepped our governor and is working with our people who want to wreck the party from within.
Beatrice Gatonyengetich, Lunchtime News.
A section of members of Parliament has faulted the Teachers Service Commission for failing to acknowledge qualifications attained by teachers during their teaching tenure from recognized institutions. The lawmakers argue that the decision by TSC negates the goal of building a highly knowledgeable teaching force through career development.
If TSC's current policy position of declining to recognize and compensate in-service teachers for higher qualifications earned, the country stands the risk of losing its continental and global competitiveness and standing in the field of education. And Honorable Speaker, I wish to report that now Kenya is ranked number 7 in global competitiveness in the continent, down from number 1 out of these type of reforms.
To get a degree involves investment by these very teachers. And Mr. Speaker, I'm sure if you don't have someone in your family who is not a teacher, who is a teacher, at least you have a friend, you have a relative, you have someone close to you, even a neighbor. You represent teachers. Look at the kind of salary they earn. If someone can sacrifice part of that salary to improve his or her education, Mr. Speaker, it doesn't make sense that once you complete, then that very paper that you toiled so hard for 4 years plus to get, that it is not recognized, that it doesn't add any value to your life, Mr. Speaker.
If a teacher has gone back to school because he or she has realized the opportunity that they would add, the value they will add to the community, to Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, they should not be punished, rather they should be rewarded. This idea of punishing them by not giving them promotion on account of what they have sacrificed so much, Honorable Speaker, because like my colleague has said, education is an investment just like any other investment.
Honorable Speaker, there will be no engineers, no doctors, no any other profession without teachers. Okay. Honorable Speaker, when they invest In education, we must motivate them that there is return in investment. That is the only way all the other teachers can go to university and read, Honorable Speaker. So I support.
And a section of Nairobi residents have called for sobriety in the Azimio la Umoja initiative, claiming that some leaders associated with ODM leader Raila Odinga are frustrating those in the Jubilee party. They say Jubilee is an equal stakeholder in the Azimio and must be given the respect it deserves.
Consultative meeting, representatives of the Nairobi business people hit out at a section of MPs affiliated to ODM party leader Raila Odinga for frustrating Jubilee party members who are supporting Azimio la Umoja.
There is a group that is behaving as if they own Azimio themselves. Azimio is a coalition of ODM and Jubilee. ODM is trying to behave as if it is a big brother.
They said while they will support Raila in the presidential election, other seats are up for grabs, warning that there should be no sacred cows and every aspirant must be subjected to the primaries.
Jubilee is a senior member of Azimio, so decision making should not be done by ODM. We need to have a level playing field.
The business people further called for proper scrutiny of those who have expressed interest in the Nairobi gubernatorial seat, saying they should be subjected to an audit to determine who is best suited to run the city.
The next phase that we are going for Nairobi, we must have a governor who is a leader, who is not a politician. We want a manager who can manage businesses, a manager who can have the solutions for this great city of Nairobi.
Yeah.
Youth at the coast have been urged to remain vigilant while using the internet to avoid being conned or lured into terrorist activities. Speaking during the Safer Internet Day celebrations in Kilifi County, Magarini Deputy County Commissioner Peter Thiongo warned the youth against engaging in online activities that could see them radicalized and instead take advantage of the internet to create employment and eke living for themselves. He also cautioned the youth against being used by politicians to commit cybercrimes such as the spread of fake news or hate speech, especially towards the electioneering period.
Jana wawe wanatumia mitandao kwa njia ambayo inawafaidi. Pengine kujikimu kibiashara na kimaendeleo, lakini mambo ya kutumia mitandao kwa kuleta ile usalama inakosekana, hiyo tumewaambia tafadhali tujaribu kujiepusha nayo. Tukienda kwa uchaguzi wasitumike vibaya kwa kutumia mitandao, kwa sababu wanaweza jiweka kwa ile tunasemanga ajiingize kwa hatari na ajipate amevunja sheria na achukuliwe hatua.
Residents of Mwingi have raised concerns over what they claimed as massive illegal sand harvesting, which has caused destruction of roads and drying up of local rivers. The residents now want the authorities to stamp its authority and arrest the worrying situation. Migwani OCPD Kazungu Charo has warned those undertaking the illegal sand harvesting business to keep off from rivers or face stern action.
Inatumalizia manake tunaenda kuteka maji kilomita 15 kutoka kwa hiyo mto. Sasa hii tunatembea mpaka tukapate mahali maroli chafika ndio tupate maji.
We are losing even our roads. We have these road sections that have been recarpeted, but if you look at the situation right now, because of the weight of those trucks, the road has been damaged again. If you look at our aesthetic value of the environment, our environment is in a very bad condition.
Tuko na barua ya county government kuonyesha ya kwamba mto huo hautoshwi kamwe kuchotwa mchanga na mtu yeyote. Na tumeambia wananchi ya kwamba hiyo natural resource ni ya taifa zima. Kwa sababu kuna wengine wamejikatia huo mto wakisema hapa ni kwangu nitauza mchanga.
The government is working towards putting to place a BRT system as a means of transport. And the Principal Secretary for Urban Development, Charles Hinga, is currently addressing members of the press at Ardhi House. Let's cross over and listen in.
And invest in us operating company. So that is a document that we released, and then we have different categories which recognize different, for example, Class A shareholder who are on are going to be affected by this system. We want to give them
for that technical hitch. My colleague Alan Aoko is at Ardhi House. Be sure to catch up with him in our subsequent bulletins at 7 and 9 p.m. with the details in regards to BRT system in Kenya. We are taking a short commercial break. Stay with us.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Keep abreast of the developments live from the National Assembly and the Senate.
Honourable members of Parliament.
The questions.
When is the construction expected to commence?
The motions.
Beg to give notice of the following motion.
The debate.
Will as many as want to be to say aye.
The statements.
A statement on an issue of general topical concern.
The petitions.
Order number 4, petitions.
Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1 and Radio Taifa for live proceedings from both houses of Parliament from Tuesday to Thursday. Live, uncensored, unedited. KBC, your national broadcaster.
Time for Channel 1 Business News. And countries in the East African region are set to convene in Nairobi for the Africa Healthcare Supply Chain Dialogue East Africa Edition. The summit seeks to bolster the region's post-pandemic health security by leveraging technology to strengthen supply chains.
The forum brings together government officials, tech leaders, multilateral agencies, financial sector, and donor organizations to share insights, leverage key learnings, and map out opportunities post the pandemic. The health sector faced immense supply chain issues during the COVID-19 pandemic. Zitova, one of the organizers of the forum, said stakeholders in health service provision, including governments and industry players, can leverage technology to mitigate against risk, build efficiencies and resilience moving forward, and this forms the core objective of this event. The Health Ministry says the universal health coverage has become a policy priority for the government, aiming to ensure that every citizen has access to quality healthcare services that they need without getting into financial difficulties or poverty. To progress towards universal health coverage, the government is working with partners to support a strong, reliable and efficient management of healthcare supply chains, which is crucial in enhancing health security, optimizing resource utilization and the proper implementation of universal health coverage programs in the country. Betty Kiptum, Lunchtime News.
Toyota's fourth quarter profits dipped 21% to $6.8 billion as the global chip shortage hit production. This prompted the world's best-selling car maker to cut its annual production target by 500,000 vehicles to 8.5 million, attributing this to the struggle to find enough microprocessors for their products. Here now are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe.
Toyota's announcement comes as manufacturers around the world are struggling to find enough microprocessors for their products. The automakers apologized to customers for inconvenience due to production volume reduction, noting that they are working to restore full production. In January, Toyota warned customers in Japan that they would have to wait for up to 4 years to take delivery of its new Land Cruiser SUV. Rival car makers including Volkswagen, General Motors, Ford, Nissan, Daimler, BMW, and Renault have also cut vehicle production in recent months. Toyota has slashed its production worldwide vehicle production by 40% because of the chip shortage. Meanwhile, China and Argentina have announced their multi-billion US investment package today. Argentina has become Latin America's largest economy to formally join China's infrastructure and investment project. The deal has resulted in agreements worth $23.7 billion of Chinese investment in energy, infrastructure, technology, as well as currency swap. The announcement of Chinese investment is significant for Argentina, coming shortly after the country reached an agreement with the International Monetary Fund to restructure payment of its $44 billion debt for 2 years. Finally, crude oil prices in the U.S. have increased after an unexpected drop in the U.S. crude and fuel stocks. Brent crude futures rose from 41 cents to $91.19 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $89.74 a barrel, up 38 cents. Undersupply is the key factor that has pumped up the oil price in the country, as crude, gasoline, and distillate stocks fell last week, and crude inventories fell by 2 million barrels.
In Naivasha, affected by construction of high-voltage power lines, are calling on the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company, KETRACO, to disburse their compensation packs. Here now are the details of this and other with Betty Kiptum.
Last month, the Olkaria Lesos Kisumu, Kiambere Embakasi and Loyangalani Suswa high-voltage power lines were vandalized, plunging parts of the country in darkness. The Naivasha Sub-County Security Committee met various government agencies to deliberate on the recent cases of vandalism that had targeted various infrastructure. The meeting noted that there had been no vandalism cases reported since the ban on scrap metal trade.
So the concern is huge, but we have sat down. We also want to thank the President because of the ban. The cases have gone down of vandalism.
In the last couple of months, 32 transformers in Naivasha have been vandalized. The officials resolved that engaging members of the public on protecting the critical power towers and lines is key to stopping the vice.
We have come with ways of mitigating that. One of them is doing barazas, engaging the wananchi, then enforcing the presidential ban, and again having a special unit of doing surveillance along the lines.
Over 150 families affected by construction of the high-voltage Olkaria Lesos Kisumu power line are calling on KETRACO to compensate them 5 years after their land was acquired for the project.
Taenda wapi? Hapa makisema mananiambia ati hapo na masimia ati mapatie mimi 700 na mimi hata hiyo hapana patiwa.
Naomba sababu sina mahali pengine. Hata wakati nikuja hapa niliuza shamba langu ili ninunue hii ploti. Sasa sina kitu kingine. Sasa nitafanyaje? Na mali imekwisha. Na nimesajenga na niko na mgonjwa. Sasa hata nikilipo hiyo 1700 itafanya nini? Na hapa ploti ni milioni moja na 1,200,000.
Betty Kiptum, Lunchtime News.
The government is distributing range cubes to pastoralists in drought-stricken counties as millions of animals face starvation. The range cubes, which are rich in minerals, help livestock endure prolonged drought by supplying them with critical nutrients. The government has set aside more than 10 billion shillings to deal with the ongoing drought.
Recent reports by the National Drought Management Authority indicated that more than 2.8 million Kenyans are on the brink of starvation if the ongoing drought continues. President Uhuru Kenyatta last year declared the current drought a national disaster, urging all government ministries to redirect their energies towards addressing the ongoing drought in the country. To ameliorate the situation, the government and other development agencies have started the distribution of range cubes to affected communities in various counties. Livestock keepers in Isiolo will receive at least 4,500 bags of range cubes distributed to the keepers.
We have received 4,500 bags, 50 kilogram bags of range cubes from FAO. These feeds we are distributing to 6 wards in the county, 4,500 bags, and each beneficiary will get some 4 bags.
The pastoral sector is estimated to contribute over 70% of household income in the county and employ more than 75% of the working population. Livestock keepers in the 6 wards of Sericho, Cherab, Chari, Garbatula, Oldonyiro and Garamara in Isiolo County that have been hardly hit by the prolonged drought will receive highly nutritious range cubes to help resuscitate the most affected animals that are on the verge of death. The FAO Deputy Director General Beth Beckdole and the UN Kenya Resident Coordinator Dr. Stephen Jackson flagged off trucks that will help in distribution of the feeds across the 6 wards of the vast county of Isiolo.
We can continue to be supportive to you to provide these kinds of resources to the ASALs, to the pastoralists, to the farmers that are most in need. But as you've said, also importantly, provide the training, provide the cash transfers, the other kinds of technical assistance that's needed.
Range cubes are highly nutritious and have the ability to improve the body condition of emaciated livestock, with a single adult cow requiring only 2 kgs of the nutritional supplement per day.
But we are also planning so that we cannot always plan for drought. We plan for resilience, how our people can benefit from all the range of support that they get within the county and the national government.
The current drought situation in Isiolo and the neighboring counties like Marsabit, Wajir and Garissa is expected to worsen in the coming months, since only the areas around Isiolo town received some inadequate rainfall in the last 2 months. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
And back to the local scene as political leaders continue to traverse the country. These civil servants interested in joining politics are resigning from office following an order from the head of state and public servants head, Kirinyaga, that leaders who want to take part in the August 9th general election should vacate office. The deadline was yesterday, and Cabinet Secretary Cecily Kariuki is joining the growing list of those cabinet secretaries interested in taking part in the August 9th general election. She will be vying for gubernatorial seat in the county of Nyandarua. Let's listen in.
It marks my last day for me as a Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation in the Republic of Kenya. I am eternally grateful for the opportunity and trust given to me by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta to serve this great nation and this republic under the Jubilee administration. I have been privileged to serve in diverse sectors. Initially as a Principal Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture from 2013 to 2015, then as Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Youth Affairs in the years 2015, 2018. Later on as a Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health from 2018 to 2020. And currently as a Cabinet Secretary for Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, a docket I have served from 2020 until now. I take this opportunity to thank my Cabinet colleagues, my ministry teams, and partners, including you, the media, for the support you have accorded me during my service as a state officer.
Cabinet Secretary Cecily Kariuki joining the growing list of civil servants interested in taking part in the August 9th general election. In other concerns, 10 member countries represented under the Nile Basin initiative have benefited from a 2-day workshop in Nairobi aimed at sustainably monitoring and collecting data on the potential of river basin. This comes amid reports of increased human activities along the vast marshland, with experts warning of dire consequences if the situation is not addressed.
So there is the issue of stock-taking establishing.
Nile Basin Initiative, with the support from the Nile Corporation for Climate Resilience Project, seeks to expand its data and analytics services for climate-resilient water resources management in the Nile Basin.
To enhance the current activities for the Nile Basin and for Kenya, and creating also ownership. When we include in any project countries from the beginning, we ensure this ownership of our tools, of our system for the country, and also introducing technical teams at the national level here in Kenya at the available tools that we have. We are basically tapping on the available data on the cloud.
According to Gladys Basike, Director Transboundary Water at the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, proliferation of industrial agriculture, urbanization and rising living standards are the major causes of pollution on the 600-700 kilometer stretch riparian land.
Agricultural practices that are not environment friendly, that pollute the rivers, the lakes, and also the rivers that lead to the River Nile. So we are looking at this as, once you inform the countries on what measures to take at country level, countries can work towards, within their institutional mandates to protect the catchments.
Nile Basin Initiative Regional Water Resource Modeler Modathir Zarug said countries will be facilitated with a vast range of tools such as e-meters to help track how water users obstruct water flow in the river basin.
The workshop resulted in improved knowledge, cooperation, and also coordination among the Kenyan participant and NileSec on exploring also each other and sharing and this knowledge between each other and the success stories in this area also, and enhance also understanding on global, regional, and national information knowledge and technology related to data and analytics services.
The Nile and its tributaries offer a lifeline for a population of over 257 million people, which is more than 10% of the population of the African continent. Nile Basin Initiative member countries are namely Kenya, Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Ethiopia, Rwanda, South Sudan, Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Wamboi Otiende.
We now cross over to the county of Mombasa. The 3-day health conference that was officially opened by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta has finally come to a close, and Cabinet Secretary for Health Mutahi Kagwe will this afternoon bring it to a close. This as he addressed a number of issues in regards to health. Remember, these 3 days we have seen a lot happening down at the coast as His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta was in the region. There was a visit at the Coast General Teaching and Referral Hospital, and with this we saw also the launch of a cancer center and a branch of Coast General Teaching and Referral Hospital, and this aimed at reducing congestion at the facility. The Coast region holds one of the country's big cities, Mombasa, And with that, the government is looking at reducing congestion at the Coast General Hospital. This also as the government asked Kenyans to ensure each and everyone has an NHIF card, and also in support of UHC. Remember, this is in line with the Big Four agenda, where His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta is looking at attaining his target on health concerns to Kenyans, ensuring each and every Kenyan is getting proper care and at an affordable fee. Michael Wandiga will be bringing us details from the coastal region, later on in our subsequent bulletins. But right now we cross over to the county of Siaya, where the Azimio la Umoja Brigade is in the region. This as they move voters ahead of the August 9th general election. I do understand a section of governors and senators, as well as members of parliament allied to the Azimio la Umoja, are currently at Uguja. And earlier on, we witnessed entertainment during the early morning hours. And currently, there are leaders who are addressing attendance at the event. Let's just cross over and listen in to what the leaders have to say.
Mombasa kiwanja ni kura tutogin ODM makata na tachelo ngema ni chama moro tokini kata kinishi kini kata kaka mega oparanya togi ODM korot babo loso on majuo matiende kata kini chama moro tonya kidonji Azimio Nyakidonji Azimio. Dada nyamukiro loso koduka. Upendere tokini Azimio. Kodoki broketa jogi. Wano nipenya tuara kisi. Nyaka Kakamega, nyaka Turkana. Jomoro kokinyo Azimio.
As attending the Azimio la Umoja Brigade, and that is Senator James Orengo addressing attendance at the event. These as the leaders who are converging today in Uguja all support the presidency of their leader Raila Odinga. And as I mentioned earlier, this is ahead of the August 9th general election. It's also coming at a time that the voter registration just came to a close, with IEBC asking Kenyans to exercise their democratic rights. Now, to other concerns, ICTCAS Maureen Mbaka is challenging financial services players to be innovative in designing products to help expand financial inclusion from the current 84%. Speaking during the launch of Tala Flexible Loans Credit Options, Mbaka said the government is keen on further reducing the number of Kenyans who are completely excluded from the financial services that currently stands at 11%.
This product was developed after a rigorous user research process in collaboration with our customers. And we believe that this new flexible credit product will put the power of choice and control in the hands of our customers by allowing them to choose the due date that best works for them and not for Tala.
I believe that financial inclusion is a crucial enabler of economic growth, even as we work towards achieving Kenya's Vision 2030 and attaining some of the sustainable development goals. While we have made great strides in formal financial inclusion in the last decade, this still remains to be a key opportunity area in developing and emerging markets.
In our weekly feature, the County Fact File, Jackie Wambiru is taking us to County of Kirinyaga. Have a look.
Located in central Kenya, Kirinyaga County borders Embu, Murang'a, Nyeri and Machakos counties. The county's headquarters are at Kerugoya. Kirinyaga County has a population of 610,411 according to 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census. Kirinyaga has 6 sub-counties: Kirinyaga Central, Kirinyaga East, Kirinyaga West, Mwea East, Mwea West, and Mount Kenya Forest, covering the county's 1,478.3 square kilometers. The county has 4 constituencies, including Mwea, Gishugu, Ndia, and Kirinyaga Central. Agriculture is the main economic activity, with the county being the largest producer of Kenya's rice. The best quality of Pishori rice is grown at Mwea Irrigation Scheme. The county is the largest producer of tomatoes in the country. Coffee, tea, maize, beans, French beans, among other crops, are also grown in the county. Fishing is also practiced at Sagana along the river Sagana. The first governor was Joseph Ndathi, who was succeeded by Anne Waiguru. Kirinyaga County has 349,836 registered voters according to IEBC 2017 records.
Thank you for staying with us. Time for Channel 1 Sports News. Over 400 athletes have confirmed their participation in the inaugural Agnes Tirop World Cross Country Tour slated for Saturday in Lobo Village, Eldoret Town. According to the meet director, Barnabas Korir, it's all systems go, with invited international athletes expected to start arriving today.
The event will be the 12th and the final Go Lebo tour in the cross-country series, and the only one in the African continent. Reigning world champion Ellen Obiri and Ruth Chepngetich will face off in the 10-kilometer senior women race, which will be the final event on Saturday, with their main challenger expected to be the current world half record holder Lesneti Gidi from Ethiopia and Winfred Yevi Motile from Bahrain, among others.
We'll have an average of 60 athletes per event. The most important categories, of course, is the men, senior men, and senior women 10K, and then under 18, under 20, and we have also the kids athletics, followed by the veterans who will be marching. So we want to make a carnival of the event, kind of celebration, and of course remembrance of Agnes Tirop.
The men's race will be a battle of titans. 2016 10,000 meters Olympic silver medalist Paul Tanoi will line up against 2019 10,000 meters bronze medalist Ronex Kipruto, Daniel Simiyu, Cornelius Kagogo, Abel Mutai, Leonard Bett, and 2018 5,000 meters world under-20 champions Edward Zakayo, among other Kenyan participants.
First of all, it is important because it gives a chance for athletes to continue competing. We have missed World Cross Country twice. Hopefully it will take place next year. So having World Athletics Cross Country Tour taking place in the country and being considered to host the event is a special consideration that has been given to Kenyans, simply because we have also some of the best athletes coming from this country.
The event will start with junior races for under 18 and under 20 before the core events in the afternoon, starting the men's race before paving way for a brief gender-based seminar in the honor of the late Agnes Tirop, then culminating with the 10-kilometer senior women race. Daniel Mwendwa, Sports.
City will be hoping to extend the gap between them and second-placed Liverpool to 12 points when they host Brentford tonight. Meanwhile, West Ham climbed back into the Premier League's top 4 with a narrow 1-0 victory over Roy Hodgson's Watford.
Burnley on a Tuesday night in February.
Manchester United are bowled out of the Premier League's top 4 as J. Rodriguez's first goal in 50 league games and bottom club Burnley a precious point at Turf Moor.